Hello, I'm running a bit late. You might have noticed. Hang on, I'm going to check my lens. I'm here with Willow. Hello, Willow. Gorgeous girl. And, oh, here's the husband. Thank you. Right, I'll take one at a time. I'm just filling up her hay. She's going to be here because I've got a lovely lady coming to look at her at 6. So you have that. So I'm just filling up her hay and then I'm going to go back to the... Thank you, darling. I'm going to go back to the HQ. And Nick is working on the arena. So he's... Oh my golly, I'm just coming over here. I'm sorry, this is probably giving you seasickness. Oh, I didn't even notice that. There's the camera. So that will give us a nice central view. Yeah. Now I'm going to wander off back down to my little HQ. Here we go, here we go. So the other news for today is Carleen sent me a text.
Just that still?
Yeah, well the other one, it might be okay and I'm not sure though. So Carleen sent me a text. I think this is going to be slightly problematic. Carleen sent me a text this morning to say that she wasn't going to be coming home on Friday because of a paperwork issue. And she's thinking Saturday morning. This is the biggest movable feast going, actually, I must say. So that's the most up-to-date version of events that we have at the moment. And that's where we're at. So I'm just going into this place here because guess what, I was doing that muck barrel thing again and it always just takes me so long. Hey Penny Poop, you go girl. Here we go. So it is obviously Thursday. It's been another day. Janine has got exceptionally cold feet. And there's a reason for that. It's because we are so totally and utterly flooded with melty snow. Yucky yuck. Hi woo woo. And it's not particularly freezing cold, but my gosh, is it wet and damp and slippy. So that's probably just the weather that we were kind of like expecting. Not anything.
Head torch in here at all?
I don't know if I don't think I've got a head torch in here.
A torch or something.
What is that? What is that? Is that electric? Sorry. Goodness gracious. I don't think we'll be going to auction this weekend. No. Which is not a bad thing. Oh gosh, Nick, there's a torch. Oh, this is. Oh, no, I don't think it's.
I've got a whole packet of head torches down here.
Oh, check the drawers then. Sorry, we're having a discussion about head torches. Right, okay. I'm going to have to sort this out and get myself organised. Check the drawers. Nick. Oh, yeah.
There's little torches in here, but they're
yeah, I don't have them here. Okay, so moving on swiftly. Let me get these letters done.
And you know on that, there's a plastic box out there with a lid on it, big one, and there's a hose in it.
Is it a blue hose?
It is.
Well, who put it in there?
No idea. Probably Janine.
I think we found the blue hose then. I don't know why the heated hose is in a big plastic box though.
Because it's a heated hose, it's got to be heated.
Not heated like that, it gets heated with electricity. Honestly, I give up. I totally give up. Right, okay. Confusion over. Right, don't ask me any more questions because I've got enough trouble going on here. It's been another one of those days when there's just never enough minutes. Never enough minutes. Now, this is from Jan Gerhold, and that's good because we've been missing Jan Gerhold for a couple of days. So, I always worry. Thank you very much, Jan. Oh, Charles M. Schultz. I love making... Oh. Glasses. Excuse me. It's very dull in here. Oh. I love making... I love man. I love mankind. I don't know. It's people he can't stand. I'm not sure. Okay, sorry, I can't read. Albert Einstein, when you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relatability. James Goddard. To be or not to be, that's not really a question. Very good. Oh, and here is Jan Gerhold again. Gosh, we must have really been out of sync. Thank you very much, Jan. Benjamin Franklin. Wine is constant proof that good loves to see us happy, that God loves us and loves to see us happy. Very good. Lebowitz, you're only as good as your last haircut. Oh God, don't say that. I haven't had my hair cut in months. Anyway. As children, my family's menu consisted of 2 choices, take it or leave it. Very good. And this is also from Jan Gerhold. Oh, it's polar bears. Oh. Hi, Carleen, Janine and Elizabeth. My name is Judy. I'm Jan Gerhold's caregiver. Jan is... Oh. Oh. So, thank you, Judy. That's important to hear, and I'm sorry about that. I think it sounds like Jan is having problems getting out just as much as she usually does. And what she's going to do is she sent us a very kind donation in a lovely polar bear card. And that's what she's going to send, and maybe not as many poo pickers with the lovely sayings in it, because she's finding that a bit difficult. Jan, your poo pickers with sayings have entertained us for a very long time, and we very greatly appreciate them. And if you've ever got the inclination, please send them in. That's fantastic. That's quite sad. It's a bit like an end of an era. But thank you so very much, and that was very, very considerate of you. Might have to keep those last poo pickers with sayings on them as a memento. Oh dear. Right. This is from... I don't know why I took my glasses off. This is from Jerry in California. It's a lovely card. Oh. Please accept this donation in memory of Donald Lakeman, who passed away December 23rd, 2024. He was one of the 9 siblings of my best friend, Annette Lakeman Kimbrough of Placerville, California. Donald was a retired Air Force veteran, a brother, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, uncle, and most of all, amazing and hilarious friend. He was always the life of the party and could be counted on to bring a smile to everyone's face. He will be missed by many, many people. With love and sorrow, Jerry. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And I'm very sorry to hear of your friend's passing. Thank you. And yes, I will do the postscript. Put that over there so I don't lose anything for a change. Right, no packages. I'm under control-ish, sort of, but not really. Oh my gosh, was that me that dinged? Sounded like me that dinged. No, that's a computer. Oh goodness. I've got the computer up and running. It's making noises like dings like that, and I don't really want to know, quite frankly. I've got enough things that talk to me without needing the computer to add in. Right, I am going to go back here, up to the top, I think. Oh, I better tell you what's happened today. So, the chickens went out today, and they did a jolly good job. And Janine called me while she was on her way to the job, and all I could hear was Bartholomew making a right racket. So he was really enjoying the trip in the car and telling everybody that he was there. And they performed as we expected, and then came home again, which was lovely. Then Nick has been working on the camera. I have been working on thinking about finding a home for the chestnut mare that we have called Willow. And I have a lovely lady coming to see her this evening and just have a look at her, see what she thinks, no pressure. And then Wallace will be coming back to work with all of the horses tomorrow night. And hopefully the camera will be up and running by then, so that should be fantastic. The camera wasn't quite as simple as a plug me in and ready to go. But that shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody, because nothing here is plug me in and we're ready to go. And yes, but we are prevailing. It just takes us a little bitty longer. So that is good. Janine has been painting the red dividers in the barn, in where Wallace is going to have his training horses, and she's doing a fantastic job in there. So she's beetling on. She's away off to warm up her feet because they got wet and they haven't heated up all day. So she'll be doing that, and then she'll be jet propelled with very hot feet, which will be lovely. Tomorrow we were really hoping Carleen was going to come home, but it's just as exciting. Judy's coming back, so that's lovely. So we'll have to hold off for Carleen coming home for another day, which is disappointing. But it's going to be lovely because it's going to feel that the whole gang's back together again. Carleen will come home, Judy will come back, and all will be right in our world. So that's so exciting, and can't come soon enough, to be quite honest with you. So that's what's happening. The bathroom is continuing. Lots of progress in there. Lots of things just ticking along as they should be. There's a tremendous amount of comings and goings here, as you probably notice. And yeah, so we're getting there, slowly but surely. And you know what? When I put out my daily doggy today, I totally and utterly forgot about, we also have George going home. So I'm going to use fingers because that's safest. We have George going back home on the 21st. Everybody, I think, is leaving round about the 21st. So George will be going back home on the 21st. Then we've got Luigi and Lucy. And I think Clark, we're thinking, is moving to a new home as well. The standard bred gelding should be ready to go back up to me into his home. And that leaves us, so that's what, 5 already. And that leaves us the thoroughbred mare, that's on Meredith, who's just completed quarantine. She may come into the programme, we're not 100% sure. So she might come over for training with Wallace as well. I would like to think we will, if it goes well with Willow today, that what we'll do is we'll keep Wallace in the training programme just to get her going a bit better, and we've just explored avenues with her for the potential home that she goes to, so that would be good. And then I'm trying to think what else we've got going on. And I do know that we've got the 3 donkeys coming in. We've got 2 surprises coming in. Well, they're the same surprise, but there's 2 of them. And then we're doing really well with that fundraiser. Thank you so very much. Whether or not it's a case of you donate or you share it with people or whatever, it's just very much appreciated. And, it's such a nice thing to have a community that you can talk to about things, because nobody else likes listening to us talk about donkeys, dogs, horses, chickens, goats, and all that sort of thing, and bunny rabbits. So it is very nice to be able to share our excitement with what happens and what we're up to and when we're up to it. And I think, as per usual, we're not going to do anything in the time frame that we expect, and that's working with animals, it's working with weather, it's working with all sorts of different things. So lots to think about, lots to do, and we're going in the right direction. We're definitely not going backwards. We're just skating on ice at the moment, shall I say. So that's what's been happening today. Although I will tell you, I was on Meredith with my wheelbarrow that likes to get stuck in the barn, and I had to do 4 trips to empty the barn out fully, because the barn is going back into under general usage. So those 2 horses are now cleared of quarantine, and we'll just be able to handle them a bit better. But we're not going to handle them that much, because, quite frankly, they're very enthusiastic eaters, and they're very competitive with one another. So we're going to have to be exceptionally careful that we start getting them in better order, because they are very pushy at dinner time. Anyway, so moving on. Right, let me do the questions, because otherwise I'll forget, because you know how ditzy I get. Carlene is still in Hawthorne Hill for the moment, but we're hoping that will change soon. And yes, it's really exciting, because I think once Nick gets that camera up, that then frees him up to start moving ahead with the other ones. And we chose that one, I'm sure I told everybody, so that we can work out whether or not we're going to need auxiliary microphones to pick up all the sounds in the arena. Most importantly, when Wallace is training, so we can actually hear what's going on. So that will be interesting. So you'll have to be the test guinea pigs, I'm afraid to say, to see how the sound comes through on your computers and other devices. No, I don't think we're going to make it to auction this weekend, because it's far too tight a turnaround to get Carlene settled. I think if we'd thought we had a couple of days, a day and a half at least, that would be fine. But no, I think it's a wee bit too tight. And the other thing is, we're doing a trip to Maryland. So we're going to Maryland, and then we're coming back up to the auction. And we're going to have to time this just right, so that our little calf is not too angsty or suffers the effects of travel. So all sorts of things to take into account. And anyway, it's my wedding anniversary. I can't really leave Nick on that. Or I can, because he wouldn't mind really. He'd get peace and quiet. It's supposed to snow Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Right. Okay, so there's the weather aspect coming into play. Yeah, it's looking more likely that we're going to be staying put. I head torch is a flashlight like you put in your thingy, your head. And we've got them on bands, and we've got them on hats. And you know, we've got lots of them. It's just they're never where you expect them to be. Ever. Ever. And Janine, sometimes she hangs them up on fences in areas that you know, we use it at night time, and then of course when you go to find it at night time it's dark. So yes, head torches. Oh, that would be a really lovely surprise if she does manage to make it home on my birthday. Oh, you like my curly hair? This is totally and utterly rain. It does this when it rains. It just goes, and you see, if I tried to do this by myself, no, it doesn't work. It just goes frizzy. It's the most bizarre thing, I tell you. I give up on hair. Hey, Bella. So for this room here, to sort all the stuff, is it this room that you're talking about? There is actually shelving. I've got it in a box. But I'm waiting for Carleen to come home because I want all the dogs out. So when the dogs move back in with Carleen, I want to bring the birds down, get the birds settled in here, and then I want to get the shelving all up and situated. I'm going for a minimalist look. Don't think there's anything minimalist on this farm, but hey, yeah. So I'm hoping that I'll get better organised, and yeah, we'll get there. Is it 2005? That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And you see, so the terrible thing is, and I've told you, I don't know how many times, when we go to these auctions, Janine says to me, no more mules, okay? And I go, yeah. And no more mares, and definitely no more mares that are of the Dutch harness variety. And you never know what's coming up at auction. And you're very much, you take what you can help, and what's needed most. So I don't know why we even bother saying no more mules and no more mares, but it's always a guessing game. There's no rhyme nor reason to what's there. As everybody knows, I have a very, 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 very soft spot for draft mules. I was a tremendously enormous fan of Miss Momo, and I have Ted, who is a Percheron draft mule. He's the very dark bay draft mule that's in Meredith. And Ted, I did actually try getting Ted under saddle, and Wallace worked with him. And Ted is a very opinionated gentleman, and he told me that he didn't really want any of that sort of like super exercise nonsense, and just hanging out in the paddock was fine. And the beauty of Ted is that he is very calm. He is pretty chillaxed, and when you've got a really nervous or upset horse or donkey and you put them in with Ted, he's just like, hello friend, this is what we do. And he's very reassuring, and he's very gentle in a way that Enzo just is not, because Enzo is like the Duracell bunny. He bounces absolutely everywhere. But Ted is the most lovely babysitter you could ever find. There's not a bad bone in that mule's body. The only problem with Ted is Ted only likes one paddock. And if you try and put Ted in a paddock, it's like Mo. She was exactly the same. Mo used to take the gates off at the hinges and escape, close the gate back over to keep the sheep in, and then wander off. But once we had her in the ice house, that was her happy place. She dominated that paddock, dominated that barn, and it was just where Miss Momo lived, and you knew that. And she could see, and I think it was probably because the barn in the summer, you can see out the front of it and you can see out the back. because we leave the doors open for her through a breeze. So what she would do is she would survey the internal workings of the farm through the back window, then the door because it was open, and then she could see the rest of the farm through the other side. So it was like the control centre. So she was exceptionally happy on there. Ted, the only paddock that he appears to like is the one with the sheep, and we've had him in other paddocks and he does nothing but break out, and he goes and stands outside that paddock. That's where he wants to be. So that's where Ted is. So when we have any uptight animals, they go in that paddock with Ted, because he is lovely. He's the boy that you have to give a kiss and a cuddle to at night. Otherwise he sulks with you the following morning. He's such an enormous personality. So yes, I do love draft mules. I do love mini mules. And anyway, we shall see, because you never know what you're going to find. It's always a bit of a mystery. Yes, we will miss our poo pickers, Jan, but thank you so much for all the time that you've taken over the years. The bathroom's coming along fine. I haven't actually been in to see it, but I know that they were working on it. The dogs are just fine. Wanda went out this morning to do the job naturally, and the other three have been running around like Looney Tunes. I don't know what it is about Snow, but they all just have this tremendous lease of life. It's incredible. So that's what they've been up to. No, the flooring is not down in the White House yet. It, I think, is supposed to be going down tomorrow, and it won't take more than a day. The White House is heated with these split systems, and they're actually working very efficiently at the moment. So I would like to think that Carleen will be warm enough. If not, we will hear about it and we will remedy it. Depending on how... I'm not sure whether or not this would be a very strenuous event for Carleen, but she may well want to have a mail chat on Saturday, so we'll wait and see. And if Judy's here, yes, but Judy has other commitments as well, so sometimes she has to go earlier in the day, but we just need to wait and see. Wanda is on the bed. Hold on a minute. There she is there. Shall we monkey? So I can't really comment about whether or not there'll be a mail call on Saturday, but we'll let you know. No, George is going home without a donkey friend, actually, because I think they've had a horse evacuated from the west coast, and it's going to be George's companion, and it's a family horse, so that should work out well. Appreciate dinner time. Yes, well, at least you don't get hangry. Oh, get the swear jar ready for Carleen. I thought you said sweet jar there, and I was like, she's got sweets. Yeah, I'm wondering if we might have to put the calf in the truck. Oh dear. Oh, snap, Nancy. Same day. I do not know anything about the 35-year-old mare that ERN is looking at. I'm presuming that's a rescue that's not our part of the network. It must be, it's probably either Standard Bred Rescue or some other part of it, but it is not under Goldy's farm or Meredith farm. That much I can tell you. Mail chat, I'm actually hoping that Carleen and Michelle are very good friends over a very long period of time, and they have lots of joint memories and, you know, tremendous stories to tell. So I'm actually hoping that we could maybe persuade Michelle to go in and do some mail chats in with Carleen, because they're obviously very friendly, but also there's a lot of funny stories that they both have and memories. So I think that would be of great interest to everyone. Oh, it will be plenty warm for the birds in here. It is roasting. Yes, it is absolutely roasting in here. No, she's not nervous about coming home. She doesn't fancy being outside in the snow, but or the cold. But I mean, she's more than ready to come home. I don't think she's nervous about it at all. Oh. We will not be bringing a new puppy from auction. I'm going to stop saying not, because we end up with lots of things that we're not doing, and then we end up with them several times over. Don't ask questions like that. Those are very leading and very dangerous questions. And we're not bringing goats. Although, I will tell you, I did have a conversation with Janine about goats, and I was quite shocked because she was talking about more. But then we decided no, because the ones we've got are handfuls. Yes, sometimes there are puppies at the auction. We'll be putting our blinkers on. No, that's right. There will never be a Momo, because Momo just kicked her way into your heart and stuck herself there because she was so quirky and just such an enormous personality. And but there are several more mules that are so deserving and so much in need. And sometimes there's no draft mules at all. It really just depends on what turns up that day. But I do like draft mules. Shh. Nope, her desk and her chair are not in the house yet. I mean, this is called leaving it till the last minute, and that's how we fly, by the seat of our pants. Oh, the dogs have been out and about, but they've been down this end of the farm, so that's maybe why you've not seen them. No, there's absolutely no draft here because we don't have the dog door in this side. So this place is actually, and I've got as you'll see here, the sliding door is shut. So there's no drafts in here, and in fact I'm sitting here in a base layer because it's that blinking hot. Oh, and they won't catch a draft. In fact, they probably get more of a draft in the sunroom than they do up here, and they won't be near the window either, so there'll not be either excessive heat or excessive cold, so they'll be pretty much like climate controlled. I do love all the animals. I'm very, very lucky. And, you know, I get up every morning and I think, I'm so lucky to be surrounded by all these animals. And then I look at the weather and go, ooh, disappointing. Did I freeze? Oh yes, I do mail chat, but I'm hoping it'll probably... It's very difficult because when you do mail chat all the time, you know, I keep telling everybody about what's going on in the farm, but Carlene's got a very different take on it. Michelle will have a different take, and it's great when Nick and Janine come. So it's actually good to have a choice and a rotation because then you don't get quite so bored. Well, that's my take on it anyway. I did not. Yes, the gate's still there, and then the sliding door was actually on the wall side. So I do close that over because Penny can get through the gate, and I don't want her coming in and eating anything from the desk. So that's why the slider is always shut. Yeah, she'll not be moving in if the recliner's not there, Fugan. We all know this. Yeah, and we're not having an elephant. Honestly, I've got enough problems. So, that is us. And I'm going to disappear off and go and see how Willow is doing in the arena. And then we'll take it from there. And if there's anything exciting that comes up overnight, we'll let you know. And we'll speak to you tomorrow, which is obviously Friday. Night, night, everyone.